Husky 2G CAN bus training, Pulse Induction System training presentation. Equipment description. Pulse Induction PI control box. The PI control box is a digital signal processor, DSP, that controls the PI mine detection panels and provides an audio and visual display representation of detected threat. Part of your PI system, inside the cab, you have your PI control switches, which is this top bank, your PI control box, which is the complete assembly, your detector head control switches, as well as ink marking buttons, and your PI display and warning light bank right below. Continued, creating a search profile, PI variables. There are 3 different system variables that may be manipulated based upon the environment, your mission, the type of terrain, etc. You have different search modes, which is locate 1, locate 2, and pinpoint. You can also adjust your sensitivity to high, medium, or low. And you have your detection panel height. There are 4 adjustable panel heights. Sensitivity. Sensitivity is selectable between high, medium, and low. And on your PI box, it is indicated here for high, medium, and low. PI control box continued. Press the PI test button to up volume control on center display. The display returned to the original display. So this is your center display. To turn the volume up, you'll press the PI test button and you can push either the plus or the minus sign to increase or decrease the volume. The VPPI PI volume switch is a touch screen and is controlled from 0% to 100%. Again, you'll press your test button and you'll be able to adjust your volume on the touch screen. Search modes, adjustable high, medium, or low. Locate 1 is for smaller targets, register at higher rates of speed. High probability detection, PD, for large targets. High probability detection failure, PDF, for small targets. You also have size discrimination, and it's a dynamic speed of 15 to 34 kilometers an hour or 9 to 21 miles per hour. Locate option 2 is higher probability detection, PD, for large targets. Higher probability detection failure for smaller targets. No size discrimination. And you have a dynamic speed of 5 to 15 kilometers an hour or 3 to 9 miles per hour. And pinpoint has the highest accuracy for position determination and target location. You have a continuous variable tone. It's in stereo output through the CVC helmet. Static speed is 1 to 5 kilometers an hour or a half a mile to 3 miles per hour. You're traveling very slow. Again, this is controlled here on your search mode button. You have loc 1, which is location 1, loc 2 for location 2, and PP for pinpoint. Continuing with the search modes, you have loc 1, loc 2, and pinpoint. This is a description of how the panels lay underneath the vehicle with your front coil and rear coil. For locate 1, target has to pass between both coils to be recognized as a target. This provides a size differentiation effect. Smaller targets are only picked up at higher speed. So you can see here the target has to pass underneath the panels. In locate 2, the front coil target initiates visual warning by a lighting indicator on the PI box. It'll be on your visual indicator. Your rear coil targets indicators tone from the PI box. So the front coil will make the light come on, the rear coil will give you the tones as you pass over the target. In your pinpoint, front coil target initiates a visual warning by a lighting warning indicator on the PI box. Again, you'll have a light come on the VPPI. And then the rear coil targets a tone change. Again, when you're in pinpoint, you have a constant tone that's inside your CVC. As you pass over the target for the rear coil, that tone will change. It'll increase and then decrease as you pass over the target. On your visual indicators are provided to display the state of the PI control box, as well as the state of the left and right detection panels. So you can see here, this is your complete lit up visual indicator. You have your detect left, detect ready. The position of the panels, lift 1 through lift 4. It also lets you know if your lift is stowed, lift error, ink is low, or if you have a can error with your PI system. Again, you have detect right and left and detect ready. The system also has a built-in test and reset. The PI control box is equipped with a bit or built-in test function that allows the operator to test operation and also volume control display, and is equipped with a reset function to force a reset of the equipment. Again, when pressing the PI test button, it displays the volume adjust on the screen. You'll be able to adjust your volume. To force a reset or perform a bit test, you'll press the PI reset button. That will reset the system in case of a false reading. Your vehicle is equipped with a high sensitivity detection panels. This setup right here, as you can see. High sensitivity detection panels are centered about the hull. The detection width of the detection panels is 10 feet or 3 meters. That's 10 feet from either side of the left and right detection panel. The height of the detection panels are adjustable depending on terrain conditions and the type of target being detected. Mission will dictate your detector panel height. Detector panels are comprised of coils that receives a pulse induction signal from the PI control box. You have operator visual pinpoint indicator, your VPPI, and ink meter. As you can see here, you have pitch and roll, and then your VPPI. The VPPI provides a visual location representation of the physical detected target relative to the vehicle. The VPPI also includes an ink meter that displays the degree of pitch and roll of the vehicle. Again, your pitch and roll, and then your VPPI. VPPI, no PI control box. The pinpoint or metal sensor bar graphs located on the left and right of the display. The metal indicator bar graphs operate only when the PI control box is switched on. For these threat indicators, again, you have a left and a right threat indicator. These will only light up when the PI box is turned on. This gives you a bar graph of the threat that is under either side. Again, your pitch and roll for your ink meter. VPPI continued. You have loc 1 and loc 2. The bar graph is not illuminated when the PI control box is in the loc 2 mode. The bar graph will illuminate in an up and down movement until the vehicle reaches speed, at which the time they will not illuminate. These will not illuminate unless you are at that static speed or that relative speed that we had mentioned previously. When a threat is detected, all LEDs located on the threat detected side will illuminate. Again, no bars here. All bars on the left-hand side indicate a threat was detected on the left side. Pinpoint, the green lights will be illuminated or flickering when the search area has minimal to no metal presence. As the metal content in the search area increases, the light bar graph will raise to depict the detected metal content. So while in pinpoint, you'll have possibly no or flickering green light. As the threat is detected, the bar graph will raise in pinpoint. Low ink marking fluid indicator. The red LED low ink or low warning light, ink low warning light, illuminates if the ink marking fluid is low. It'll be indicated right here, ink low. That is a level of your ink marking tank. Left ink marking button. Left ink marking button dispenses ink to the left detection panel nozzles for marking potential threats for detonation and disposal or interrogation. All right, and it's indicated here on your mark left ink. So as you're driving over a suspected target, if it triggers on the left-hand side, you would stop, press the mark left button to disperse ink onto the ground to identify the area. Right ink marking button. The right ink marking button dispenses ink to the right detection panel nozzles for marking potential threats for detonation and disposal. Again, your mark right. It does the same thing as the left. However, this marks it on the right-hand side. Error status and indicators. The error status and indicators provide the occupants with error notification and status of the state of the detection panels. We'll go through a few of these real quick. You have lift stowed. That lets you know and the operators know that the panels are in the up or stowed position. You have a lift error light. If there's an issue with your height or tilt actuators, your lift error light would come on. You have your low ink and your PI can error. PI can error indicates that there's a problem with the PI box or a problem with the connection with the vehicle CAN system. Detector head up indicator. Detector head up indicator illuminates when the detection panels move upwards. PI detector head display bank. Detector head position display 1 indicates the level at which the head is currently situated. This is controlled with the lift up and down switch. Again, lift 1 through 4 indicates the position that your detector panels are in. This is controlled with your lift up and down buttons right here. Detector control switch. As we mentioned previously, your lift error light will come on. If you have any issues with the detector panels moving between positions, that light will illuminate. Detector head control position, this is a quick troubleshooting guide depending on the position of the panel and the reason why that light may or may not have illuminated. I'll give you a second, we'll kind of read through this. You have stow to 1. The lifting mechanism did not reach the time or position sensor is faulty. All right, and that's primarily going to be the main reason of these. You have 1 to 2. Your light should be in lift 2, possibly be flashing and causing the issue. Lift 3, 4, and then as you come back up, again, take a second to read through these. Pulse induction PI box interface continued. Your radio volume. Radio volume is controlled via a knob. To increase the radio side tone, rotate the radio knob clockwise. To decrease the radio side tone, rotate the radio volume knob counterclockwise. You have your driver knob and your operator knob. Again, that's to adjust your radio volume. Radio volume is independent via the intercom volume. The driver and operator radio volumes are independent of each other. What that means is if the driver can actually turn his volume up or down, and it's independent of the operator. Intercom volume. Intercom volume is controlled via a knob. To decrease the audio volume of the communication between the driver and the operator, rotate the radio volume knob clockwise. To decrease the audio level of the communication between the driver and the operator, rotate the radio volume knob counterclockwise. The driver and operator intercom volumes are independent of each other. Again, you have an intercom volume for the driver and one for the operator. As you're sitting inside the vehicle, this is a communication between the operator and the driver. They can turn it up or down as needed. Transmit indicators. The transmit LED is controlled by the CVC helmet push to talk button, or your PTT, and a threat detected by the PI control box. In the event of a threat detection, the transmit LED will illuminate solid red, and the radio PTT will be initialized. When initialized, a tone will be broadcasted across the communication network to notify personnel outside of the Husky of a potential threat. The tone will be broadcasted for 3 seconds before automatically disabling. After the 3-second interval, the transmit LED will flash. What this means is anybody that is on the same radio network as your Husky will be able to transmit. The tone from inside the Husky will transmit to their radio. That is only if you are equipped with this type of radio system. Transmit indicators continued. Transmit LED will flash until the CVC helmet PTT is engaged or the PI control box is reset. So that transmit light, it'll broadcast until you actually press the button on your CVC or you reset the PI box. The transmit LED will illuminate solid green when the driver or operator CVC helmet PTT is engaged. So it'll stay red and flash until you press the button or reset, then it'll turn green. The driver and operator have independent transmit LED indication. PI tone select switch. The PI tone select switch is a 3-position toggle switch that allows the PI tone detect threat to be heard in either the driver CVC, the operator CVC, or both CVCs simultaneously. So you can either turn it to the driver is able to only hear it, the operator, or both. It is recommended that you run in the both position. Equipment description continued. Your combat crew vehicular or your CVC helmet. CVC helmet provides protection to the users, provides a mechanism for intercom capabilities between users, as well as provides a mechanism for audio communication over a communication network. Your CVC, your Husky should have 2 CVCs in it. This is to be used with the PI transmit box, the radio interface box. It is a ballistic helmet that you can use. However, mission will dictate, and also availability, you may use this, in lieu of this, you may use your combat helmet and your communication devices. Transmit switch. The transmit switch is located on the left earpiece. The transmit switch has a 3 operating positions. You have intercom, speaker on to listen, and microphone on, PTT or push to talk. With the transmit switch in the intercom position, the driver and operator can communicate. The audio from the intercom communication is not transmitted across the communication network. What that means is when you are in the intercom position, only the driver and the operator are able to communicate. Anything that you say inside that vehicle stays inside there. It will not transmit across any communication network. When the transmit switch is in the speaker on position, any transmission from the PI detection system or communication network can be heard in the CVC helmet. What that means is when you're in the transmit, when it's on the speaker on, you're able to listen to the PI box as well as your communication network, any other radio signals that are on the same frequency. When the transmit switch is in the microphone on or the PTT position, any words spoken are transmitted across the communication network. While the transmit switch is in the PTT position, message traffic from the communication network cannot be received. What that means is when you have that and you press that switch, that button on there, you are actually talking into the communication network. Any signals that somebody else is trying to relay to you will not come across there because you are blocking the transmission. That's the end of task. Refer to Husky 2G suite of manuals for additional information and procedures.